Doctors of Reddit, what patient made you go? How the duck are you even alive? Ask Reddit. I know a guy who keeps telling me that he never takes insulin and drinks 40 ounces of dew a day and his diabetes hasn't caused him any problems yet. Same guy also had his foot amputated a few inches above the ankle a year ago. My mom's a doctor. I asked her about this when it came up on Reddit. When my mom was in her ICU cycle during internship, a man with police officers behind him came in the ICU. The man was perfectly fine and walking, so my mom and her colleagues were confused. The officers showed them a picture of a crumpled metal piece, which was a car. It didn't look like a car at all, just metal trash. The officers told my mom and her colleagues that they rescued the patient from the car, which was lit on fire only a few seconds after they rescued him. The patient didn't have a single scar on him, was perfectly fine, and got his name around the hospital for being immortal. Veterinarian. Dog hit by a train. It severed the dog's leg and the dog carried its own leg home. Owner brought dog and leg to the ER. Obligatory not a doctor, but my dad isn't. He liked to tell us about the crazy shit he saw. This post made me think of one of those in particular. Huge guy, linebacker build, came into the trauma ward with a gunshot wound dead center of the chest. He could breathe fine and he had a pulse. So they did a chest x-ray and found that the bullet had spent all its energy getting through this guy's sternum and was just resting on his pericardium. A guy, now passed away, who had incurable lung cancer from Agent Orange exposure during infantry service in Vietnam, and his wife had recently died. Cancer. Wife died. Guy was pretty positive, glass half full about chemo, considering the WWHAMMY. Asked him how he managed to keep it on the positive. He said he was returning to base with just days left on his enlistment. Rookie pilot has a mechanical failure of some sort in their Huey. They are going down, and not the controlled kind of landing either. He assumes he is about to die, says everything got real slow, real bright, and a sense of acceptance and peace washed over him. Rookie pulls one out at the last moment, lands their bird with no casualties. Patient told me he felt he should have died that day, and every single day since was a complete gift. Maybe being alive has a lot to do with attitude. 35-YO male, casual plasma glucose was 600. The guy came for a slight headache. Cool. So what does that mean? His blood is like caramel sauce. I'm a psychologist, not a MD or DO, but I work at a psychiatric hospital. Anyway, one of my patients a few weeks ago was a 15-year-old boy who was regularly neglected by his mother, who was an addict as an infant. When he was around 5 years old, his mom pimped him out to men for sex in return for drugs. When he was 9, his stepfather gave him a skull fracture after beating him with a wrench. When he was 14, the same man shot him with a pistol for talking back. He's in foster care at the moment, and suffers from PTSD and depression. But he's the sweetest boy I ever met. I wish him the absolute best in life going forward. He deserves it.